So we've been living with the Jawa 42 bobber for more than a couple of weeks now. Join us in knowing how it is to live with in this episode of Indulge on Wheels. Now if there's one thing that the Jawa 42 bobber does best, is look good, because look at it, the design is absolutely brilliant. It has a lot of circular elements like the headlight cluster, the instrument cluster, the bar and mirrors, the indicators and the tail lamp. However, the party piece is this hanging seat, which looks absolutely brilliant. And if there's one thing that people ask you, they do not ask you about the fuel economy, rather they ask you if there's another seat that can be fitted to the motorcycle, to which you can only smile and say, no you can't. Now this bobber is powered by a liquid cooled engine. Now it looks like it's an old school air cooled engine, but it isn't. These fins hide what's underneath, and that's an overboard liquid cooled motor which loves to rev. It's 334 cc's in capacity and pushes out close to 30 PS and 33 Newton meters of torque. The whole bike weighs 185 kilograms, so it has decent shove. And the motor is connected to a 6-speed transmission instead of a 5-speed, which some of its competitors come with. The 6-speed transmission is a bit of a hit and a miss. For example, the first 3 gears, 1 to 3, are a bit clunky. However, gears 4, 5 and 6 slot in smoothly, and because it has 6 gears, you can take it on the highway and ride it as fast as you can, while still the revs are lower. At the same time, this motorcycle has a lot of punch for its weight. The drivability of the motor is really good. If you stick it in third and then drive it from 30 onwards, it just pulls cleanly, and overtaking on the highway is a bliss. Jawa has tuned the suspension of the motorcycle really well. The front suspension soaks up bumps well. The rear suspension, although decent, I believe it needs a bit more travel. However, be it city or the highway, I think the 42 bobber handles bumps and potholes really well. However, the one issue that the motorcycle does encounter is the lack of ground clearance. There are 2 silencers on each end, and there's a sump guard that's provided as well, which means that you tend to scrape the underbelly quite often than you'd like, and sometimes you also end up scraping the exhaust, which is not a good feeling. Being a bobber, this motorcycle does not have to prove itself by handling like a super sport. However, it does handle really sweetly. Throw it around some curves, it wants to turn really quickly. Take a turn at 60, turn at 80. It will not skip and hop and make you feel nervous. It would rather be an able companion and help you turn. On the other hand, you do end up scraping the pegs quite so often if you take a lot of lean angle. So that must be kept in mind while riding this motorcycle. But what this bike is all about is enjoying the ride. This is not about chasing any lap times. This is not about chasing the highest top speed. It's about savoring the ride, savoring the moment, and it's best done at half speed. Take it to the 6th gear, ride it between 90 and 100. The motorcycle settles on its own, and then you tend to absolutely forget about everything and cruise. And cruise is what it does best. Yes, it is a single seat motorcycle. Yes, it's not an adventure tourer which is designed to do hundreds of kilometers a day. But if you wanted to do 200, 300 kilometers a day, I think this motorcycle will be able to do it. And at the end of the ride, you will not feel absolutely beaten up, which I think is much more important than getting to the destination. The instrumentation and the switchgear layout of the bobber is really nice. On the right hand side, you have the engine kill switch, the hazard lights and the starter button. On the left hand side, you have a couple of USB ports, and then you have the mode and the select button with the up and down cycle buttons. One important feature about this is that the headlight switch is up here, which feels more intuitive. Regarding the cluster itself, let me show you. It's a full digital cluster. The speedometer is quite large. It shows you how fast you're going legibly. And there's the odometer with a couple of drift meters. And then there's a gear position indicator, the fuel gauge, the clock, and the ref counter. So it's a very well laid out, petite instrument cluster with a chrome bezel, which looks nice. So the Jawa 42 Bobber is a very nice motorcycle. However, it does come with some flaws. For example, the gearbox. It's a bit clunky. The exhausts do not produce a soulful sound, but the Bobber does have a strong bass. With this solid bass, Jawa can work on this motorcycle, and maybe with the next update, we could have a much better motorcycle. Thank you for watching Indulge on Wheels. We'll catch you up with another 350cc motorcycle in the next episode. See ya.